Hi, this is Russ Ballard, and you're listening to the Voices of Russ Ballard podcast.
If I told the truth, I'd be wasting my time. Everyone's carrying a cross, and this one is mine. I got my head in the clouds. I can feel my mother's crutch. I want her to be proud. Am I asking too much? I just wanna be somebody. I just wanna be somebody. I've been running around in circles, no one isn't more. I'll be your freak, I'll be your queen. Just give me something to believe in. I just wanna be somebody you love.
So, welcome again to the Voices of Russ Ballard. And for those of you addicted to the podcast, we have only love for this band. So, what an opportunity to get with you, devilish folk, be somebody, and let's be picture perfect all night long with the amazing, the damn truth, ladies and gentlemen. Here they are. I'm going to take my glasses off.
What a lovely intro, Ian. I liked it a
Was
lot.
that all right?
Yes.
Great voice.
So this is the Voices of Russ Ballard. We were chatting before we started earlier on. How did this come to be? I was lucky enough to be on a cruise, the Rock Legends cruise, and we figured out who we wanted to play, did a bit of Spotify. Oh, this band sound good. 9 o'clock, was it 10 o'clock in the morning, 11 o'clock in the morning downstairs? Yeah.
Something disgusting like that. Yeah.
And I wandered in and watched you guys, and you just blew us away with your energy, your professionalism, the strength of the songs, everything. And we just went, wow. So we saw every performance at the time, and I just said, and fast forward to when I'm on tour with Russ in a hotel room where he's signing merch CDs, and I put a bit of music on. He said, "Who's that? They sound good." I said, "It's the damn truth." And I said, "Do you want to do a video just to say hello to them?" Which he did, which you've seen. So here we are on the podcast where you're going to meet him a little later on. So a very warm welcome. So let's start. Oh, by the way, the damn truth, the damn truth bracelet that
Oh, nice.
That's
Right
right.
from the cruise.
that I got on the cruise. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, that's so cool.
That's proof. That's proof. So tell us a little bit about how it started, guys, and please feel free to include the naked hippie festival bit. Okay.
Yeah, it is a great story. It is really how it all came about. I had been traveling for about a year. I was lost myself in India, and I had I loved my time traveling. And I ended up at this festival, not knowing how to join society again or put on clothes. So I was really looking for places that would allow for my nudity and my happiness. And I was sitting around a bonfire in the evening playing my guitar. This other beautiful naked long-haired boy sits down next to me, joins right in, we don't introduce ourselves. We just jammed for hours and hours. Turned out to be Tom. It was a magical connection that has sprung this relationship, that sort of kept us going. So it all started with Tom and I, and then we met Dave a few years later, and started, making music together. PY was our latest addition, but now he's already a veteran. But that may have been, what is it,
10 years.
No.
Yep.
You've been with us for 10 years?
Next July, I think.
I love it.
PY, I must say, I walked out of that venue, and the first thing I did, because I went down the front while my wife was sitting at the back.
That was the one at 9 a.m. at night?
In the morning.
Yeah, 9 a.m. at night for me.
Yeah, very good. Very nice. I didn't get the 9 a.m. bit. Very good. But I just walked up to her and started doing your shuffle. I don't know what you call it, whether you call it your shuffle or your running on the spot bit. But just
Oh, yes,
fabulous.
I
he's
don't
very,
call it
very.
anything, actually.
Very, very good. Very, very
Awesome.
I think
Shuffle, that's cool.
I think another interesting point about how this band came together was that you know, Lila and I were we were living in Montreal, and at the time it was just such a no man's land for rock and roll. There was just no bands who were playing cool music that we thought was cool. You know, everything was kind of like indie pop inspired, or whatever. And
yes.
it was really even hard, like just to get a gig anywhere with you know with the kind of music that we were playing and whatever. So we just you know out of just being music fans, like Leela and I, and then Dave and PY for sure, just decided that like well, if there's no rock scene, you know, that we can insert ourselves into, we should probably build one, you know? And just from the perspective of being fans of the music, we just felt that there was none of it here. And we had to like, not that we had to, but we wanted to put together a band that we would be happy as fans to go and see, you know?
Was that Canada specific? Because you say there wasn't a rock scene, which surprises me.
Yeah,
Especially
Montreal
your
specific.
right.
Montreal
Okay.
specific.
So whose idea was it? Well, again, you've kind of answered the question, but the late '60s vibe, the incense that you do, even on the deck stage, Leela comes out and lights the incense or whatever, and then playing. I thought was great was White Rabbit playing as well, just before you came on. It just set. I'm a great fan of a build up before the band comes on stage, especially if it is if you've got lighting, it's indoors kind of thing as opposed to outdoors. Whose idea was that? Was that just something that came naturally to you setting up I don't want to call it image, but you know what I mean?
Well, I think I don't know. I think Tom and I like. I think the whole band is like. There's we all are lovers of the classic rock of the '60s, '70s vibe. You know, for me, I've been addicted to Woodstock and all the 1960s. You know,
Yeah, rock and folk.
generation that just it's really been my peace and love is who I am. I really really try and hope to embody that everywhere I go, and it's just part of what this band has become. And it just feels like it's the truth for us. It is so
Yeah.
it really helps me get into the mood when I smell my incense. If I forget incense, I'm very angry. Like there's all my peace and love goes out the window if I forget to bring incense on tour.
That's our alarm, you know? It's like sound the alarm, the show's about to begin, and White Rabbit starts. Everybody's like, oh shit,
Yeah.
the show's starting. And then we start getting ready really quickly.
Get a beer quickly and get down the front.
Couple beers and
Yeah, but I thought each of you individually, I mentioned PY already. Tom's amazing guitar playing, and I love the way you came out in the audience. You just blew it away with that. Is that cherry red Gibson Les Paul you've got?
Tom, shimmer on the guitar.
Yeah, that's my pride and joy. My 71
Yeah.
Les Paul. Huh?
That's a awesome instrument.
sexy.
And Leela's incredible vocals, and Dave. Let's not forget you, some spectacular drumming. Because I would have thought, like, we'll talk about the tour in a minute, but but physically doing that night after night must be something. You must have to be, you know, get yourself in shape for that, I'd have thought.
I wish I could say that I was more in a physical regimen or routine, but you know, you're right. It is a very athletic profession. You know, my bones ache, my hips ache, my hands ache, but we play a long show all the time. So over the years, you know, you start off as a little starter band, you do a 30-minute set and you graduate to a 45, and the 45 turns into a 60, and 60 turns into a 90. Now we're doing a 90+ minute set. So, you know, we do long rehearsals, we do long shows, and every time I sit down, even if it's a rehearsal, I try to play hard with intensity so that we can keep the momentum going at shows, you know. But at the same time, it's like I'm not running around on stage like these guys are. You know, my bones are maybe taking a beating, but I, you know, I sit there and I hold it down. I do what I got to do, but I definitely need to spend some time in the gym eventually.
I don't know how much research you've done on Russ, but his best friend is a guy called Bob Henry, who was with him virtually all the way through. So they were together they're back to an English singer called Adam Faith, and it was Adam Faith and the Roulettes, then Unit 4+2, then in a band called Argent, where the Rod Argent you're probably aware of with his Zombies hat on. Sorry, Bob and Jim went to join the Kinks for 20 years as well. So you should mention that when you talk to him. But you're about to embark on a UK tour, which I'm told last time round sold out. Is that right? You sold out most of the gigs?
Quite a few.
Definitely sold out of merch.
That's good.
And vinyls. Merch and vinyls.
We have a few shows that sold quick, yeah.
We have a couple sellouts now, I think.
Yeah. I looked at that. I think I'm on your mailing list, and somebody sent a thing out saying low ticket alert for these venues or something like that, and all this kind of thing.
I'd like to hear that.
I know through experience, when on the merch side as well, carrying vinyl around is a bit of a drag because it's heavy, isn't it?
Oh, we fold them.
Of course you do. Of course you do. These
are good problems, though, man. You know, it's like if we have to carry and travel with merch, it means that there's people out there who want it. So it ain't too bad. That's for sure. It's better than carrying rocks.
This is
very
true.
Grateful.
And I'm a great believer, and we're a great believer on this show. That, you know, whilst dear old Spotify and the streaming platforms, God bless them, they do a job, but we all say we want to support the artist, and we want to support the artist so that you can go and buy something that you can hold, and you know, that way more money goes into your coffers, because it's not easy playing in a band and building it all up, right?
100%.
Yeah. So first, it's probably good to say at this point, and I'll mention it a couple of times, go to thedamntruth.com, have a look. It's a great website, actually. Also, make sure that you go on and get the newsletter or the news sent to you via email, etc. And there is a merch tab on there as well if you're not going to the gigs. And if you're not going to the gigs or in the UK, why not? We need to know why.
Yes.
So, a lovely sort of smooth way to talk about the new album. It's called The Damn Truth, and it's out now on Spectra Musique. Did I get that right?
Yep.
Nailed it.
Right. Okay. Brilliant album cover. You can get vinyl. You can buy the finished article. Would you say it's the best album of the four, if I'm not mistaken, that you've done?
It is right
Feel
now.
better and better, yeah. They feel better and better every time.
You tend to have a connection. Sorry, we tend to. I tend to have a connection with the most recent work. You know, so we're living this music recently in the writing process, in the studio recording process, and now playing it live. So I mean, these songs are really, you know, we hold them, we cherish them. While maybe some of the earlier material is, you know, like the young children who moved out of the house. Maybe we love them. But
these are totally
there,
still in their infancy, you know, like they're still growing on stage. They're not at their final form, if I may, you know.
Yeah,
they're still babies, especially for the UK. A lot of these songs.
But the process of you know, writing and recording this album was different for us because we worked much closely with Bob Rock on this record.
Yeah,
and I mean, Bob's involvement wasn't just at the studio when we were recording. It was months and months of sending demos and choosing the right songs and, you know, making sure that we have a cohesive, kind of like in his perspective, a cohesive piece of work, you know, not just great songs, but great songs that work together. So I think that we wrote maybe 35 songs or maybe more. I can't even remember right now for this record. And we ended up with how many songs on the album? I don't even know. 10? 11?
10?
So yeah, 12. So yeah, we narrowed it down, and that process took a long time, and we never really done that process to that extent. And Bob was really adamant about that we do it this way. And I think the opportunity of working with him and seeing like how he actually approaches his approach to making great records, how it works, and all that is very interesting. And I think it was also very fruitful because I think the album's great.
I think the album's great too. And actually, with the time on the Rock Legends cruise, it was just about to come out.
That's right,
I believe, and it just came out just after that. But what's your favorite track? Are you agreed on something, or do you have individual? What do you think represents you now? Or is there one track that stands out, particularly as PY says when you do it on stage?
It's really hard to choose one. I find that especially now our set is it's an emotional roller coaster. It's very high energy, and the moments that we kind of have a second to breathe, compose ourselves, and start, let's say, I don't know, like the two songs for me that have that moment in the set, which are The Willow and If I Don't Make It Home. Those two songs are something else for me. They're like on another realm. They're magical. I don't really remember, how they came about. Like there's like a little blurriness as to the moments. Like I remember more or less the story, but I like for The Willow especially, it was like the writing of that song. I don't even know it. We found the recording on a hard disk that had been like completely forgotten about. It was just a guitar and vocal line that Tom and I must have been drunk one night, recorded, and have absolutely no recollection, no idea where it came from.
Literally a gift from the universe.
And and so when you get and I just love that song. I find it's really 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 special. I don't think we've ever written anything like it, and our fans are really resonating with it as well. I find that people are really drawn to that song. So.
Questions fly and your head goes under. Night turns to day, days to week, weeks turn to winter that lasts for years. Oh, so never there. As if I was never to the clock, and you tampered with fear. Home is in your horizon, but never really here. The willow stands naked and bare. My baby went on without me, as if I was never there. As if I was never there. Days are long and you got time to wonder.
So that one, and if I don't make it home for me, it's so powerful. The lyrics to "If I Don't Make It Home" are they really hit home for me.
Yeah.
It's all the fighting and all the disagreements in the world, could all be reconciled if we found a common home. That's kind of what I think of when I sing the song, and I try. I know it's very personal, but it's also such a universal feel to it, and I find that people can really connect to that. Those are my two, but I'm quite sure everyone has something else. Yeah.
Any others before I sort of chuck my as a fan, if it's sort of listening to your music, I chuck mine in. Any others?
Mhm.
I like them all.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think for me, and I suppose they stick in your head. I mean, in preparation for talking to you, I made sure I listened to it like on auto replay for God knows how long,
Wow.
last week or
Thank you.
two to make sure. But I think "Be Somebody" and "Love Out of Luck" are the ones that, dare I say it, if you, I don't want to radio friendly. I don't want to say radio friendly, but you know what I mean in terms of like the hook line.
Let's say anthemic. Moving forward.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, with "Be Somebody" was the first song that we wrote for this album, and when you do I don't know, when you, for me at least, when you try to approach and to think about, oh my God, it's been a year and a half since we had an album, since we started, like, since we released our last album, it's probably time to start thinking of new songs. and it's such a monumental in my mind test. Like I can't remember, how did I ever do that? You know, like how the fuck did we ever come up with like a bunch of songs and recorded them and put them? Because it seems like impossible. But then
While
Be
touring
Somebody
a lot.
showed up. Yeah. Then Be Somebody showed up, and all of a sudden, like it felt possible again. You know, okay, here's a great song, and if we can do this one, then we can probably have 10 others in us. So
That one came together really fun. Like when we started jamming it, it was like one of those ones that is just like it happens and they're just like having fun the whole time. Then all of a sudden you're like, oh fuck, look at this. Beautiful thing.
For anybody who hasn't heard, listening to this or watching this, who hasn't heard Be Somebody or the whole album, go to the Damn Truth's YouTube channel where there's some great videos. And if I'm not mistaken, the Be Somebody video has only just come out, hasn't it? That's a new video
just last week.
that you've just done. So have a look on there. It's great fun to watch. Great fun to watch. So yeah, I mean, I for me, the whole album, there's not too many tracks that you go sort of press the fast forward button or the skip button. But I always remember the tracks that you played live, I suppose. I'm guessing that you play most of the album live now, or you will be in the UK. Is that right?
Yes.
I think there's only one song we don't play off this record live.
Mm-hmm.
Crikey, that's amazing. Oh, so it must have been really difficult for you to think about, right, okay, which ones are we going to drop out the set? Because from Now to Nowhere, the previous album, which is fantastic, but sadly, like a lot of artists, COVID kicked in and took away a lot of the momentum, I would have thought, for you, which didn't help very much at all. So there's some great tracks on there, and for me, again, when I saw you, when you opened up with what you opened up, we were talking about earlier, the video that you filmed upside down.
Yes. But this is who we are now.
This is where we are now. This is who we are now.
Who we are now.
Who we are now. Yeah. I mean, that seemed to be a real crowd pleaser. Do you still keep that in your set, or is that something to do?
Oh,
Yeah, that's not going anywhere.
That's good to know.
Shot of adrenaline.
That's good to know. So,
Stepping out
it is very challenging to choose, you know, the songs which are going to stay, which are going to go. It took us a couple of weeks to kind of like pin down this like show that we're presenting in the UK in a couple of days. But there's a couple of slots in the set where we have this song or this, you know, and then later in the show, this song or this song. And throughout the tour, we swap out a couple of songs. So we do get to, you know, we do get to cover a lot of ground, cover all of our records and get to play what we feel is the best of the best. And also every night kind of like do something a little different too, because we have so many fans that, you know, they're not just going to come once, they're going to come 5 times, you know?
Yeah.
So we want to be able to play all the great material, play everything off the new record that we're so attached to, but also, you know, do something a little bit unique every night. So the show is sort of changing a little bit every night, while, you know, not having to let go of too many songs either, you know? We've also lengthened our show a little bit too, so we could squeeze in a few more as well. So it's sort of how we balance that thing, because it's so hard, you know, to put songs aside and say, okay, well, you know, we're not going to play this song for this tour cycle or whatever. It's almost a little bit heartbreaking, because there's so many moments that, you know, I want to feel in certain songs, and choosing it between the 4 of us it's tough.
I think the UK is a special place for you, isn't it? In fact, it's where you got the phone call to say that Bob Rock was going to was going to produce you. Is that right?
The first time,
you took the call, Leela, didn't you? Is that right?
Yeah. Tom and I together at the hotel room at the end of the night. Man, it was really wild. UK has a wonderful spot in our hearts. I am a sucker for dreary, romantic, dark weather and beautiful architecture and old places with history. I absolutely adore that. I'm a big reader, so like for me, it's almost like traveling in a fairy tale. And the folks that we meet are so special. Rock and roll is alive and kicking all over the UK. We feel it, and it's really like every night and every day on tour in the UK. It just fills us with so much positivity, so much great energy, and belief that we're on the right track. You know, it's really fun.
Well, there's lots of places in the UK like that. I would say make sure that you take a walk, if you haven't done it before, down Candle Lock. It's got a lot of history.
Oh yeah, we've done it before, but if I have time this time, for sure, for sure, yeah.
It's good stuff. I mentioned earlier on about the UK being a great market for you, and long may that continue. I spoke to Tom on the deck one day. I forget who I was seeing, and I think Tom was just having a cheeky little beer on the top deck and topping up his tan. And I got chatting to you, Tom, and one of the things that you said to me was how frustrating it was. No disrespect to the US, where it's a huge opportunity for you, but you were saying to me how much it cost for a band like yourselves to go and tour there. Have you found ways of navigating that so that you can tap into that huge market for you?
I mean,
is it still difficult?
I mean, yeah, for sure. I mean, we've been to the US a bunch of times to play, but it's never cheap and it's never easy. Not that coming over to Europe and the UK is cheap and easy, you know. I mean, we have to pack all our shit and you know, jump on a plane and all that. But yeah, it's a bit frustrating because it's right here, right? Like for us, we're only 45 minutes away from the American border. But you know, this is definitely something that we're looking forward to do in the future.
We are working on it all the time.
Yeah, there's great opportunities for rock and roll in the US. Obviously, you know, it's where rock and roll is from, and we're definitely in the process of getting back there. I mean, we toured quite a lot in the US before COVID, and then COVID hit, and after COVID, it just became a bit more difficult and more expensive to travel that way. But we're definitely looking into getting back there.
Brilliant. So you should. And, you know, I really do wish you luck because, as you say, it's not cheap coming to the UK. We talk about the UK is marvelous, but I live in Portugal, but I'm British, and I know, we do lots of things to try and stop musicians coming over, try and put obstacles in their way, which thankfully you're managing to navigate, as I said earlier. Just going back to the cruise briefly, Leela, I saw you on stage with Blackberry Smoke with Charlie.
Mm.
And that was the other band that hit us straight between the eyes on that.
Yeah.
I just thought they were superb. They've got their
So.
own vibe, haven't they? They're just something, and he's a great front man, is Charlie.
Absolutely,
Yeah, we
absolutely.
love him.
Yeah.
We love him.
Yeah,
Lovely man. I mean, that was like the mashup jam night was
yeah,
it's yeah, it's something I love that. I love to I mean it was the first time I'd ever met Charlie backstage 2 minutes before we hopped on together. It was
as you do.
yeah, but he was he was very, very, very sweet and composed and humble and I really I'm all into real people, people without too much attitude that you can just have a nice conversation, nice honest conversation with. And definitely, I think that there's the one song that I caught on their show at the Deck. It was like on their newest album right now. The name is leaving me, but it's like a beautiful
Mm.
ballad that brought tears to my eyes, and I'll never forget that moment, like with the
Right.
sky and the sun and that beautiful song. And I mentioned it backstage just before hopping on, like that, what a
Yeah.
beautiful song that they'd written. And yeah, it's an honor to be able to just do that,
Rub
to come
shoulders.
together and sing together. And it felt really good. Yeah,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
was a fun night indeed. Uh,
Well, we've got in part two of this interview, we're going to have the one and only Russ Ballard, and it's not long now before he comes on, and he'll just jump right in. So I'm just going to mention a couple of things that people might not know. People might not know that Dave, you're a record producer and co-owner of the Frequency. Actually, you call it the Freak Shop, but it's
Right.
presumed the Frequency Shop in Montreal.
The play on words, yeah, exactly. The Freak Shop. I'm sitting in the studio right now
Right.
at the
Okay.
moment.
And I noticed from the website, there's lots of people that have you put all your list of your clients, etc. People that
Well, I
have
mean, we've been here for 16 years, kind of plugging away, making music, collaborating with artists of all different types of styles and genres, and it's been exciting and really grateful that we have this sort of like artist hub in the city here and a place to work. And the damn truth, we've like produced a lot of our work here in the past, in the earlier years. I mean, before Bob Rock
I was going to
crashed into
ask
our
that.
life.
I was going to ask that
So
question. I presume that's where you
no,
were
of course,
producing. Yeah.
our first and second record was done here, and in fact, our first record was done at the previous iteration of the Freak Shop. So I mean, it's been a blessing for me to have this creative outlet, and then also for the band to have a space to early on to get our records going and stuff. So
There you go. It's a quick advert
music.
for the Frequency Shop or the Freak Shop.
freak
If you're nearby and you want to go and get some studio time, that's where to go. Interestingly, you then recorded at the Warehouse, right, which is Brian Adams' studio. I'm going to bring that up when Russ comes on because Russ lives near a village in Hertfordshire called Ware, Ware, and he just put an album out a little while ago, which is a double album, one album of him re-recording his hits, the hits that he wrote for other people that he never recorded formally himself, which was called The Hits Rewired. And then he did some new stuff as well. And he called it Songs from the Warehouse, which so it's quite an interesting play on words that you're recording in the warehouse as well. The other thing I wanted to bring out that perhaps people don't know, Leela, I never had you down as singing on a Yves Saint Laurent perfume ad.
Yeah, sometimes the opportunities fall in your lap. That was
Yeah.
really, really incredible. It was a fabulous, moment when after a gig, one of the people in the audience comes over and says, I work for this marketing firm, and I think your voice would be perfect do this idea, to do this song. And the next day or a couple days later, we were in the studio recording "Love Is Blindness," the U2 song, and it just worked. They loved it, and it took off. And for like I think for a good year or two, it was like the commercial was everywhere. It was really powerful, really great. A lot of people have gotten to discover us through that song and through that
I was going to
commercial.
ask that exact question, so I'm glad of that.
Yes,
That helped
absolutely.
the exposure.
There isn't it's very rare that we play a show till today that if we don't play Love Is Blindness, someone will come and say, you didn't play Love Is Blindness. They'll like accuse us of how did you not play that song. So it's definitely stayed with us. It's a powerful song. It's a beautiful song. And we've made it our own. I find that that's what you have to do when you cover a song. First of all, you've got to love it, and then you've got to turn it into something that that means something for you. And I think and I think it's touched a lot of people.
Brilliant.
So it's really nice.
Fun fact about that song is for years after we recorded our version, we had Turkey as I think number 1 or 2 on Spotify as our most listened to country because of that song, and like the fashion houses there.
Wow.
It was like UK and Turkey were like our main outside of North America.
That's incredible.
And we never even been there.
Yeah.
So, as I say, Russ is going to come on very soon. I want to. We're talking that you're on the up and up, and you're moving the new album, just about to embark on the UK tour. So it's probably a funny question to say to you, what about the future? But what have you planned for next year and beyond? Having seen you live, it's screaming out for a live album. It's screaming out for a DVD recording. I don't know. I have no idea. But tell us, what plans do you have for next year and beyond before we finish?
I mean, the next year is like packed with tour dates, so there's not really much time to produce anything. But we're always working on new material.
Yeah.
Always have stuff in the works, and the little bit of time off that we have, we usually get together and work. So there's a bunch of concepts and ideas that we've been thinking about. I don't think we're quite ready to share it yet.
Oh, fair enough. Okay, that's good. No exclusives on the Voices of Russ Ballard, but maybe next time. So you're touring next year. Are we allowed to know where you might be touring for people to look out for you?
Yeah,
we've got
coming back.
and extensive tours throughout Europe and the UK for sure.
UK again.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, well,
Couple awesome
nothing is
fests.
really kind of like announced at the moment, but I mean, at the end of January, there's like festival dates, and back in the UK, we'll be back in the UK in January for a couple of dates. And then this summer, June, July is like a long stretch of touring where we'll be back in Europe and the UK again for summer festivals.
That's
and
brilliant.
then again at the end of the summer in August, back to the UK. See you guys.
Also, don't forget that in March, we're going on an arena tour with Live and another Canadian band called Big Wreck. So that's going to be fun.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Okay.
Just some East Coast.
Brilliant. Yeah. So, I'm going to sort of start to wrap up and say, look, dear listener, if you like these guys, you like looking at them, he's talking to them, you maybe listen to some of their music, go to thedamntruth.com and have a look at the website and subscribe. So you get all the latest news, and please go on the merch tab or go and see them if you're in the UK, and definitely go to the merch stand. We look forward to the merch stand. Do you go out and see the guys at the merch stand after the gigs, or is that
Absolutely.
That's brilliant.
Yes, we love it. We love it. So we really find that our fans turn into family very quickly. And so we got to go out and see them. We love them.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, I wish you all the very best of success, because I sincerely believe you deserve it. And personally, I think you're on the edge. You're on the cusp. And I've said this to Russ a couple of times. I think you're on the cusp of really breaking it properly and big. I honestly believe it. And you heard it here first on the Voices of Russ Ballard. But this is the damn truth before they went right up there. So we really wish you all the best. And for the moment, before we just, Russ is just getting his makeup done in the waiting room there. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast, and
Thanks for having us.
it's been giving up your spare time, and you're all great guys. I've met you all on the on the boat and everything else. So what you see here is exactly what these guys are like. They are really, really lovely people. So
Oh, you're
and
so kind. Thank you.
go and see them. But for the moment, anyway, the damn truth. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ian.
Hi, this is Russ Ballard, and you're listening to the Voices of Russ Ballard podcast.